Hey guys, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. And I want to thank all my new subscribers and my previous subscribers. I am almost, as of making this video, I was either 1 or 2 away from the 3,000 subscribers. So that means we will be doing a giveaway probably sometime this week. So now that that is said, I am going to try my first freeform. I'm going to make it into a vase, I think. So what I've done is I just have this wood piece that I am just going to use as my template. I do have this vase set up and I've got it on cups. And that's what I'm going to drape this over when we get to that point. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. I have got these, they're just called glass gems. I got them, I don't know, 100 years ago at Michael's. And they're like a metallic-y silver. So we're going to put that on the rim of the vase. And then I'm going to do black, white, and a little bit of the metallic silver. So I think for this one, I'm going to do the majority of it white with the black and the little bit of silver through it. And we're going to try to get a swirl pattern going. So that's my thought anyways. Whether I can pull this off, I have no clue. So first of all, I am going to just draw myself like my circle template so I can try to keep it as round as humanly possible, because we all know that resin is just going to do what it wants, right? So now I can put this aside. And I'm going to flip this over. So that way I don't have to worry about this. And crap, I got a wrinkle right there. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I didn't even look at that. So I'm just going to make a circle on this side, and then I'll wipe the other side off. All right, let's do that. Because at least this way here, it was laying down. So I had to wipe this side anyways with some isopropyl alcohol. So now we'll just wipe it and wipe that black right off of there. See? And I was rubbing because I'm like, it ain't coming off. And I forgot because I put some on the other side. All right, so that is all clean. So I don't know how much resin I'm gonna need. So I mixed up 8 ounces. So if we have something left, we'll just make an extra. And so I have my cup for silver. That's gonna be my black. I'm gonna use the majority white, and we've got our silver. So I'm using the Craftor resin because it is a thicker resin. So that's why I kind of mix it up first so that it will have time to start thickening even a little bit more. So I'm just going to get my paddle off, and I just gotta run this through here a little bit more. I can see that it's not fully mixed. I could still see a little bit of the ribbing in there. And I will have to grab my gloves. All right, I'm just gonna wipe my paddle blades off. So we're finally having some beautiful weather. It's already 70 out and it is 2:40 in the afternoon. So I'm hoping that I did not start this too late to be able to catch it at the perfect time. But I usually stay up late anyway, so I think I'll be fine. I know I don't have to leave the house today. I'm just going to be outside. So what I'll probably do is set like an alarm on my phone, like the 2-hour mark, come and check it, and then kind of gauge where I'm at, because I want it to be pliable but not sticky. So that is what I'm hoping for, if I can catch it at that phase. All right, so I'm just gonna wipe the excess off on this paper towel. And then I'm just gonna flip it over. I'm gonna spray it with some alcohol. And then just give it a good wipe. And that's how I clean, you know, if I wanted to save a cup or whatever, I would do the same thing. Okay, so let me just get this. All right, so I know I don't need a ton of the silver. So I think that is going to be more than enough. And I will probably do that much of the black. And then we'll do the majority of it. Yeah, I guess we'll do the majority of it in the white. Now I'm second guessing myself because of the stones. But I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with my first thought. So this is just the Ocean White by Let's Resin. And any discount codes that I have are listed in the description box. All right. So I'm going to get this one mixed first. Oh, crap. You know what? I didn't leave any clear for my stones. I will have to take some. I'll take a little out of each cup. Well, I'm off to a great start. I already screwed up my first intention here. All right. So that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to let that rest. Let me grab another cup and yeah, because I know I don't need a ton of the silver because the silver will overtake for sure. And let me just grab a couple of sticks here. All right, so let's mix up the silver. So hopefully everyone had a lovely Mother's Day. I did. I had fantastic. All my kids came over and all my grandsons, well, grandkids, except for my youngest. He had a chance to go fishing with one of his friends. And I said to Jenny, that's fine. Let him, you know, let him go. He's finally coming out of his little shell that he's been in. So, all right, so that's a pretty silver. And I'm expecting the silver to float, but we will see. So let's get, and I'm thinking 2 drops is, and that's the Let's Resin Black Pigment Paste. And I think this is going to be plenty. So the last time I tried to run white through the black, and the black just overpowered to give that real good marbly look. So I'm kind of hoping that this time I will get that marbled look that I want. All right, so let's get some stones in here. And I'm not going to put a ton of them, but I did want, you know, a little bit of them around the edge. So I am just going to, and I want this to be really thick. I don't want there to be a lot of extra clear resin running. I mean, we'll get some, but I don't want a ton of it. Okay, so I think that's going to be, I think that'll be good. Okay. So here goes nothing, guys. So after I get it poured, depending on how much it's like running past, I might have to kind of put things around the edge and kind of prop this up, because I don't want it running over my table and onto my chair. So I might, you know, I don't know, have to figure something out, but we'll see. All right, so let me just move my colors back. And let's start getting some of the stones put down. So that line was just basically like a guide to try to keep me in an actual circle. Because yeah, I am not good at trying to eye that myself. Yeah, I would have had the wonkiest circle you've ever seen in your life had I tried to do it on my own. All right, I am going to take a piece of tape, and I'm going to tape this plastic down to try and keep it more taut. Okay, I think that'll be okay. Like I said, I've never done this, so you guys could be in for a pretty good laugh. So I was asked by one of my subscribers to do something like this, so that is what I'm doing. I like having suggestions. It might take me, you know, like a week or two to figure out exactly what I'm doing or how I'm going to do it, but I will do it. I'm just trying to get it all the way around so that I can make sure that I have enough for the whole vase. And this is just a big piece of plastic that I've had. I don't even know where I got it. It might even be like an old shower curtain that I had cut up. Who knows? But I'm sure if you typed in Amazon clear plastic Because I have, years and years ago, I had tried doing something similar, but I used cling wrap, and yeah, that was a nightmare. Trying to get that cling wrap out of the, you know, depending on how tight you want to have your pleats. And I mean, I had no clue what I was doing back then, so. So I will have to thin some of these out because I am running out. I'm trying to keep it like on the line. I'm just gonna drag some of these around, make it thinner. I just figured having something at the top might add a little bit more interest to the piece. You know, and I might kick myself in the behind for even adding these, so I don't know. Time will tell, guys. So once I get this situated, I will be going outside, working on the side of my house, get that organized, trying to take advantage of this beautiful weather, because we had rain beyond rain. All right, so I'm glad I didn't have too many stones. Just gonna rob some. I'll try to get this somewhat even. Okay. So I know when you're making like a vase or a bowl that you want your middle layer somewhat thin. How thin is, I don't know. All right, so that's looking pretty good, pretty uniform. All right, so wipe this off. And now, how do I want to pour this? I might end up using the heat gun a little bit. I don't know. Let me just... So I think I'm just gonna messy pour. I am going to try and put a thin layer of the black at the top. Just to try to prevent the white from like overtaking the stones. back in with some white. So I'm definitely going to have leftovers, I can see. So I'm going to go a little heavier with the black this time. And let's finish. And then I'll get the heat gun and move this around to see how it's looking. Because some of this black is probably going to turn gray, which is, you know, totally fine. But I do want some of that metallic to show through. And we'll fill in the rest of these blank spots. I don't want holes in my vase. So it needs to be thick enough that we don't have any blank spots. Now the only thing I did not do was measure my table to make sure that it was level. So, let me do some more of the black. I don't think we're going to have as much extra as I thought we might. So tonight I'm going to be working on some more gnome doors and windows because I've gotten a couple of orders for them. So I'll be working on that tonight. All right, so let me try to blow this around a little bit. I'm going to do it on low. And I see a hollow spot right there. And put it on high. All right, so I'm liking the look of that. Hopefully it stays there. I do have a little pulling right in here. It's that wrinkle. All right, let me move. I'm gonna see if I can get the tape to stick. Oh yeah, to the mat, it's sticking way better. All right, let's see how that looks. Do I have any holes? That's what I'm looking for now. I don't see any. I think I got that wrinkle out. So now the key is, how do I keep the sides from running like everywhere? This side, it's not as bad, but I don't want them running off. And this resin does sit up fairly quick. So I'm just gonna bring some of that up and over if I can. See right here, the white is kind of like overtaking the stones. So let me just add a few more stones. So I was kind of hoping the stones would work like as a dam. That was my hopes anyways. Hang on. Let me take this little medicine cup. That's working. All right, a few more. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It's not like it's like oozing way out, which is good because I can trim off any of that extra once this sets up. Okay, so let me see what I have got left here. I have 1.5 ounces, probably a 1/2 ounce, so 2 ounces. What can I make with 2 ounces? That is the question. I don't have like a ton of like little tiny molds. I guess I'm gonna have to invest. I guess we'll have to do guess we'll do this little dude. It's just a little puppy. And I'm just gonna do like a random we'll do some whites. A little bit of black. Let me take my sticks out. Clean them off in a minute here. All right, so we've got the white. Black. Silver. White. And then we'll do silver. And some white. So, okay. So I have a little bit left. So what I'll probably do is turn them into maybe a pendant or something. Okay, so that's looking good. I will get, actually, I got these, they are like lion heads, and I got them to use with my power techs to make door knockers on my little fairy houses or gnome homes or something. But let's see how they look in the resin. And I do have 3 of these. So I haven't wiped them out since I used them. I made some stone art ones, so and they came out really good. I'll show you in a minute. They're right here on the side. So even if they've got a little bit of the black in them, I'm not too concerned because we're going for the gray and white anyways. So this one's one of the large and one of the mediums. It came with 3 sizes. And I do want to make sure they're domed. All right. So that is good. And then we'll just let them cure. So as far as the resin running, it's not too bad. All right. So I'm going to leave it, guys, and I will come back and check this in probably a half an hour just to make sure that I'm not like oozing everywhere and have a complete disaster. And then I will set my alarm for like, I don't know, 2 hours, and then maybe every hour after that to try to catch it at the right consistency. So I will be back when it is ready to drape over our vase. Okay, guys, I will be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. It's only been a minute. Before I forget, I wanted to show you the little lion molds. So that is in the stone art. So I made 2 of the smaller lions. I just got to highlight them. I made 2 of the medium ones. And this one I kind of smushed his face. And then the larger one, definitely more detail in the larger one. And then I took my door hinges and I made 2 pots and I made a couple of flowers. So I was just playing around with the stone art, trying to figure it out. So yeah, I figured I'd show you because I was gonna forget again. Alrighty, I will see you in a bit. Bye. Okay, guys, so it has been 5.5 hours. So I did have a little extra that dripped here, but I can touch it. It's not sticky, but it is leaving fingerprints. I think that's when it's supposed to get draped. So I'm just gonna pick this up and we're gonna slide this in place, and I'm gonna try my darndest to get it centered. Okay. Let me put some gloves on just so because I don't want fingerprints on my piece, but I want it to have some scallops in it. So, and I'm hoping that it doesn't drip down too much, because that is not that's not the look that I'm going for. So this might not be a vase. It might end up being a bowl because it is not quite as big as I thought it was going to be. But it's still very, very pliable, which is kind of what I want. And I definitely am not centered. All right, that looks better. And that looks better. Okay. So it can be, you know, it could be a candy bowl or whatever. But I do want to get some facets, not facets, but, you know, scallop thingies in there. So I want it, you know, to kind of look uniform. So I have made so many dang trips up and down my stairs checking on this. I go outside, I do a little bit of work. I have been doing a few little videos for you, so I'll turn those into some shorts just so you can see the yard, how it's coming along. And I went out tonight and I did some videoing with the frogs lit up. It wasn't real dark, but you can still see how good they, you know, they're glowing. All right, so this one here keeps wanting to stop scalloping. And I want to make sure that that is flat on there. God, my allergies are acting up so bad. The only thing I don't know is if I should try and cut this off now or wait. So I think I timed it right, guys. It doesn't look like it's going to drip or anything like that. Gosh, I wish you guys were here to tell me, should I cut this excess off now? Is it going to be easier, or is it going to be just as easy in the morning to get that off? All right, let me try taking the gloves off because I might be able to lift it enough to trim it. Like get it somewhat close. I don't know. Oh my gosh, guys. I don't even know if it's going to come off this plastic. Well, I guess we're going to leave it because it's not wanting to peel off. Oh my gosh. If this comes out amazing and I screwed up because I didn't, spray my plastic, I'm going to be upset with myself. Let me see. What do I have? That maybe I could stick in here. All right, so I guess we're gonna go with this, guys. I'm just trying to see now if it's somewhat even. For some reason it looks like it's because I have that extra hanging, I think is what's throwing me. But all right, we're gonna just leave it. I love how the colors stayed. And it does look like we have a little bit bigger gray around the top than the rest. So yeah, we're gonna just leave that in the morning. I will be down and yeah, see how this looks. Just trying to scrunch that in a little bit more. All right, so that looks pretty uniform. Let me just make one more spin around here. Okay. We're going to leave it, and I will be back in the morning. Okay, guys, the moment of truth. The moment of truth. All right, so that is all ready. Let's do our two little extras here. So our little lion guy came out cute. A little bit of trimming, but not too bad. And that's the medium one. Not much of a difference, but a different style face. And let's get Mr. Puppy out. And of course, we get a bubble in his tongue. And I had a feeling, because I didn't want to, and in his ear, only because I didn't want to squeeze him, because I wanted the colors to stay separate. So we got a little bubble there, which I could fix in both of the ears, but other than that, he came out cute. Okay, now for our bowl. So I kept thinking, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do if I can't get this plastic off? So I figured I'd turn it into a plant pot. But, oh, it looks like it's coming right off. Look at that. Yay! Yay! We've got success. Yes, yes, yes. That is beautiful. Wow. And it's still a little bit bendy. But I wanted it to still be soft enough for me to trim, you know, these edges. So I figured if I get all the little higher bits off, and then once it's fully hard, I can take my deburring tool and go over it. You know, and that way there I'm just making sure that it's, there's like no sharp edges. So it hasn't quite been 24 hours yet, so. But I caught it in the right time. So for my environment, 5.5 hours is a good time if I don't want it to run. So I'm thinking maybe 4.5 to maybe 4 to 4.5 hours if I did want it to run. Now, do I want to keep that or not? Not. Where are my scissors? Because that might work better. Guess not. So what I'm going to do is I am going to leave those little bits just because it's a little thicker. Right now I'm just kind of want to make sure I don't have any like little sharp bit things that will so yeah, that's our finished bowl. So what I will probably end up doing is just putting just a little bit of tape around so that it stays, you know, this shape. You know, just put like a piece around here and just, you know, let it completely get hard. But I am so pleased with the results. I really, really am. So I wanted it more of a vase, which, I mean, I suppose it could be a small vase, but because the inside is so big, but I think it would also be a cute plant pot too. Or a bowl. I mean, you could put some, you know, wrapped candies, or you could use this as a nut bowl, something like that. So yeah, so that is our project, and we had success. I'm so happy. I am so, so happy. I wish this hadn't ran so much, this part in here, but it's okay. It's okay. We've got no bubbles, so that's a plus. We got one rogue stone right there. But, so yeah, I'm definitely going to make another one. I'm just going to have to clear my desk off to make a bigger circle. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. And when I got up this morning, I was at 3,000. So, subscribers, that is. So we will definitely be doing a, giveaway video this week. So stay tuned for that. And thank you guys so much for subscribing and getting me to the 3,000. Alrighty, guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.